bits. We're going to dive into this baseball slate and sprinkle in a little NBA at the end, just for fun. We've got Sean Higgs, we've got Craig Trapp, and we're here and ready to give out some winners. Now, first, just a little warm up, a little, soft, slow pitch to maybe hit out the park. We've got Sean Higgs. Sean, what are some things you've noticed when it comes to betting on baseball? We've noticed that underdogs have been hitting pretty hot. Anything you've noticed in baseball this year?
Well, if anyone, you mentioned the underdogs, and hello, if you've faded the New York Yankees here, right? Yankees are great. No way they're going to lose games. 5 straight. I tell people, look at the streaks. Look at the streaks. Just because a team's supposed to be good does not mean they're good. Raise your hand, and I see no hands out there who had Kansas City in first place, who had Seattle in first place, Cincinnati in first place. Take baseball the way it is, one day at a time, long season, months and months and months, games galore. Don't think anything's going to happen. Nobody's due for a win. Nobody's going to bounce back. Oh, they lost yesterday. They're winning today. Hello, Dodgers just lost to the Mariners, right? The big, bad Mariners. So, listen, it's like anything you bet on, anything is possible. Go easy. Nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah, anything's possible when you have a llama looking over your shoulder.
That is the no drama llama, Chelsea, because you can't get upset. You're gonna bet baseball, and if you're taking all the faves, you're gonna get crushed. Opening day, you're losing with the Yankees and who else? The Cubs, -240 faves. So those people are gonna be upset when you lose. I'm gonna get upset when I take underdogs and lose, or an under that goes over in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. On some random error, it happens. So you got the llama to cool everybody down. You got to just relax.
Yeah. Craig, any strategies that have worked early on for you?
Well, a lot of the story going into the season, the ball was going to be doctored so that there are going to be less home runs and less scoring. We've seen that. Definitely unders have been pretty good this year. Also, I think that helps. It's been cold at times through the Midwest, so we've seen a lot, which is, I think it's much tougher to score in those games. And then we've seen 2 no-hitters already. So the pitchers have somewhat dominated. And like Higgs said, if you just look at if you bet every favorite right now, you'd be absolutely getting hammered, thanks to the Yankees. But then you have teams like the Marlins that are a couple games below 500. If you bet them every game, you still have a positive ROI. So definitely a team or a sport that you have to be looking at some underdogs sprinkled in. If you only play favorites, you're going to get hammered.
Right. All right. So let's dive into some of our plays for the day, starting with one of those big favorites. The Dodgers have now lost, 2 in a row to the streaking Mariners. The Mariners sitting atop their division and have some hot hitting bats coming into this one. We've got the Dodgers big favorites, as I mentioned, -177, and the total is 8. Sean, who do you like, or what's the play?
You know what? Part of me, I had the Dodgers last night run line. And obviously, you didn't get there. But in this, you want to, and I just said, you can't just blindly bet. Part of you wants to be like, all right, let's take the Dodgers, right? 2 in a row. Seattle, dude, they are playing good ball right now. They are, I'm getting 160 with a veteran guy in Gonzalez. Urias, I don't know his name, how to say
Urias.
it. Okay, he's still young. You don't, does he have flashes of greatness? But do you want to start laying 180, 190 on the road with a team? You just lost 2. I'm a street guy. 3, 4, 5 teams lose these kind of games all the time across the season. We see the A's have won 8 or 9 straight games. Yankees have lost 5 straight. So I'm actually kind of leaning to Seattle here. They're playing good. No one's going to give them a shot today. I'll take a 165, 170 home dog. That's on an 8-2 run, whatever they are lately. Why wouldn't we take Seattle here? Nobody's giving them a shot. Who thought they were going to be in first place? 8-2 their last 10. I'm on them. They're playing good ball. I'm going to ride a team that's playing good right now. Give me Seattle as a big dog.
Do we have 2 cappers going against the mighty Dodgers, or are you looking to another play here?
I'm thinking under 8.5. Dodgers, 7 of their last 10 games have gone under. I just think it's going to be a pretty good pitching matchup, like Sean said. So I'm going to take the under here. I wouldn't talk you off any underdog at +165, but expecting the Dodgers to lose multiple games in a row and not show up here, I just probably would stay away from that. But I'm taking the under 8.5. I just think it's going to be a lower scoring game like it was last night.
Yeah, I'm on the under as well, just because if you look at the splits for both of these teams against left-handed pitching, which we have two left-handed starters going for both teams, the Dodgers look like almost a completely different team going against left-handed pitching. They're not terrible, but they're definitely not the home run hitters, the mighty Dodgers, murderers row, that they are against righties this season. And I'm not sure why that is, because normally they're pretty solid against both, but the Dodgers only hitting 238 against left-handed pitching, as opposed to 272 against righties. 17 of their home runs have come against righties, with only 5 home runs coming against lefties. And then you've got the Mariners hitting just 207 against left-handed pitching. Urias was really good in the World Series. He has not had a couple good starts to start the season, but I think he has good stuff in there. Give me the under. And then next up, we're going to the White Sox and the Indians. Speaking of good pitchers, Carlos Rodon coming off a no-hitter where he was just one hit batsman away from a perfect game. Can he do it again against the Indians? Sean Higgs, who do you like, or what's the play?
I think you got to look at the Indians or nothing here. I feel like whenever the teams face the same pitching matchup like a week later, just like in the same span, the team that loses always seems to kind of come back and they want to be aggressive, beat the guy who just beat him. And then you add in that the guy nearly basically had a perfect game against him. I mean, no hit. Yeah, that's embarrassing. I think you're going to come out and swing the bats. I'm not huge on this Cleveland offense. So, I mean, I guess we kind of look towards the under here, but I'd say Indians or nothing. I can't take the White Sox. There's never been back-to-back. I know there was one time back-to-back no-nos. I mean, 900 years ago? So just based on that alone, I will take the Indians to show some pride and come out here and start swinging. I can guarantee there won't be no hit. That's a guaranteed bet. I'll throw that out as a lock. People love throwing out locks in the chat. What's the lock today? The lock is the Indians get a hit.
Oh my goodness. Or they get hit at least. I will say one little nugget. I know that it's really hard to get back-to-back no-hitters, but in recent history, Mark Burley, a former White Sox himself, and Justin Verlander both went 5 2/3 hitless coming off no-hit bids. So you can be really good. Throwing another no-hitter oftentimes can be, obviously a lot harder. Craig, who do you like, or what's the play in this White Sox game?
Hicks kind of took my thunder, but I love playing against pitchers the next time out after a no-hitter or perfect game. Too often, they're way over bet usually, and I would think that's the case here. I think Cleveland, they did show up against Cincinnati a little bit and scored big for Bieber, which he doesn't usually get run support. So I like the Indians at that price. Give me the even money. I'll take the Cleveland Indians here.
Yeah, I was thinking about fading Rodon in the strikeout market, but his number is actually pretty low. It's only 5.5 with juice to the over, -155 for over 5.5, which I think at that number, you kind of stay away. I think that's too much juice because after throwing 114 pitches in his last game, I think the leash is going to be a little bit shorter just because this is a guy coming off, a lot of injury concerns, a lot of injury problems. So I think you can't let him go that deep, but that number, don't love it. On to the next game, we've got the Padres and the Brewers, a really good pitching matchup here. At least on one end, you've got Corbin Burns, who is not technically the ace of the Brewers, but really solid stuff going against Chris Paddock of the Padres. Sean Higgs, who do you like? What's the play?
I am going to go under here. Burns, let's see, he's got 30 Ks, no walks. I mean, He's got pinpoint control. And the Padres lineup, okay, they could put up some runs. It's not like they're a bad lineup. Let's be honest. This team is predicted to win 90-something games. They could hit the ball. But, give me an under here with him on the hill. And on the other side, like Paddock, he had a good season. He had a bad season. Here he's kind of been, good and bad in his starts. But the Brewers lineup, as much as I love the Brewers, I got a future Brewers ticket. I've talked about them a lot, but I think they need a bat. Like their bats are definitely suspect to me a little bit. So last night's game, I like the Brewers on the under there, and 3-1 got there. I could see the same kind of game tonight playing out here. Low scoring, hits are at a premium, under.
Yeah, Craig, who do you like? What's the play?
Yeah, I think this line's fishy as well. I mean, if you see that it's a sucker line. When I say sucker line, because they're hoping for overbetters. When they put that 7 number out there, even sometimes you see 6.5. It's like they're begging you. Yeah, begging you to take the over. No more times than not, it's going to hit under. I like the under as well. Also think The Padres probably bounce back in a close one. I'm thinking it's like 2-1, 3-1 type Padres win. But better play definitely on the under here.
Yeah, I'm on everybody's favorite F words. First, 5 under. Did you know that both of these teams combined are 22-10 to the under in the first 5? Because when you think of the Brewers, you think of first 5 unders just because the combination of their really solid starting pitching and also their bats, 28th overall in the league in batting average. But also the Padres, they're hot to the first 5 under, 7-3 in their last 10. And then you've got the Brewers who are 5-1 to the under on the road in their first 5. They've got a true ace on the mound in Corbin Burns for the Brewers. And you mentioned his strikeout rate. He's the first pitcher to start a season like that since Adam Wainwright started a season with 35 strikeouts and no walks. It's the only time it's the best streak in MLB history, and Corbin Burns has a chance to beat it. So, yeah, I'm on a first 5 under there. Moving on to the NBA, which I laugh a little bit because the NBA this time of year is a little bit hard to cap. You've got so many injuries, so many guys that just don't seem to want to play, and they don't announce it till, right before game time. But there are still ways to make money and still edges to be had. Sean Higgs, who do you like in the NBA today?
Well, I'm going to throw out the over in this Knicks game. It's 208. It's come down. Now, I've been on Nick unders plenty of times, but they're on an overrun because the lines have been so over-adjusted to them now. They're 9-1 to the over. They had a huge underrun. Now they're 9-1 to the over because they're just totally moving these lines where they shouldn't be. Like, I'm 210, anything under 213, almost 212, 213 with the Knicks. I'll go under now or I'll go over because they've been scoring. This is ridiculous. The overreaction. And as I mentioned, who knows who's even playing or who wants to play and who might sit out. But give me the over here. I'm going to follow the Knicks. The lines have been over adjusted. I'm going to go over to 208.
All right, Craig, who do you like or what's your favorite play of the day?
Well, and this is a caveat here. You have to wait before game time. Probably should do that in every NBA game, but maybe no team more than the Clippers this year. The Clippers, it's like, Kawhi Leonard he should be questionable every game till game time. Paul George as well. But Clippers at the Blazers. Clippers favored by 8, total of 222.5. I like the Clippers -8 here. This Blazers team, they can't get Damian Lillard back fast enough. I mean, if they don't have that miracle comeback against the Spurs, I mean, what have they lost 4 in a row then? And I mean, this team is really going the wrong direction. Damian's out again tonight. I like the Clippers -8, but caveat: wait till game time. Make sure both Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard are going to play.
Yeah, definitely a big hole in that lineup without Damian Lillard for the Blazers if he does not play. But that's going to do it for all of our free picks here on Quick Hits. You can find us here a couple times a week, usually around lunchtime, and we're here handing out hopefully some winners. And Sean's going to have the no drama llama coming, every day for the good juju. So it's been a great time. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all the things that I'm supposed to say as a YouTuber. Smash that like button. I feel like I'm too old to say all those phrases, but here we are. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to leave a comment, too. If you don't like our plays, let us know. If you have a better play, let us know. We're always open to feedback, and thanks for joining us. That's going to do it for us at Picks and Parlays and Quick Hits. Thanks for tuning in.